welcome. My name is Dana Thompson, and I am so excited to be here today to bring you this amazing interview about a protocol for athletes. So, I myself am an athlete and have been for a long time. I really like to get out into the outdoors and get out and really move my body. And I've been doing that on a plant-based diet for a little over 2 years now, and I am so excited to bring on Lindsay Shower, who is also an amazing athlete, and she does this on with a plant-based diet. And so many people are always asking me, how do you do the things that you do with a plant-based diet? And so I wanted to bring amazing Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. Thank you so much
Hi.
for being here.
Yeah, thanks for
I
making it.
wanted I wanted to bring you on today so that we can talk about how we can nutritionally support ourselves to really be able to not only do the athletic things that we want to be doing, but to really thrive doing them on a plant-based diet. And so I'd love to just introduce you. Lindsay is an amazing mama. She knows a lot about the body and how the body works and nutrition, and also is an incredible athlete. And so I am so inspired by what Lindsay does every day on her bike, on her mountain bike, and out in the mountains and on her skis. And so you are so inspiring, Lindsay, how you make it all work. And so I'm so excited to have you on today. So I'd love to hear from you. Just hi, welcome, first of
Hey,
all.
warm welcome. That's so sweet. And you always flatter me so much, Dana. Thank
And I'd love to hear from you a little bit about the protocol that you're using to really be able to thrive nutritionally while you're out there getting after it in the outdoors, and why you're using those things and how they interact with the body and all of those. Share your wisdom with us, Lindsay.
Cool. And pardon me, I'm a little tired. Just disclaimer, so I might fumble on my words a little bit, but I'm going to try to get all of it out there. Um, so I've been like doing mountain stuff for 17 years, and I kind of like had this pivotal change in my life. I moved to Colorado. I went to college. I like discovered the mountains and discovered, plants and everything kind of at the same time. So I did it all at the same time. So it was in 2003 I became a vegan. I really started getting into my athletics, and that's just like constant. I'm like crave education, so I just keep learning as much as I can about the things, and everything really works together. I also started yoga at the same time too. So it's always been this, for me, like this balance, figuring out like how far to push myself and knowing that I'm going to be the only one in my way. So there's always a little bit more I can do. And then how to take care of myself, and finding where that fine line is, because it's really easy to make excuses. I don't want to go out today, but so push the limit to find the limit is kind of a motto I live by. And through that whole experience, and like eating plants the whole way, I've always like been fascinated by the nutrients that we actually need. I read Gabrielle Cousins' book Spiritual Nutrition a while ago, and it just like each chapter breaks down like nutrients that we need so deeply. And I got really into that, and like noticing in my body, like and as a vegan, like you your cells aren't really blocked as much, because they're limited protein, around the cell barriers. So information is kind of a little more easy on a cellular level. Stuff just goes in. And so I started really soaking that up and noticing the subtleties, like, oh, I'm really tired, so I need to add this. So eventually that curiosity led me to these superfoods, and that was only 2 years ago when I started doing this. And this like changed, like, oh my God, I wish I would have learned about this in the beginning. I mean, I be a climber, you know, like when I was like, that's what I identified as. Man, if I had this stuff then, I would have been at the 513 level for sure. So it's kind of a it gets at a lot of different angles. You know, I've been working like you for the past 2 years to really get the toxins out, the stored toxins. We don't eliminate them because they're chemicals. So we need to aid that to start to absorb our nutrients again. And then I do a daily shake that, you know, I would do if I'm doing the athletics or not, and that's just to get in the minerals that we are missing, and so that your organs can start to function, and then also getting super deep sleep so you can recover. That's when everything really happens. And when I'm recovery is huge as athletes, you know, and in the more I age, the more I realize you can't really fake your way through a day without sleep. Maybe one in a row, for sure not. So when I'm really in it and I'm like out, you know, crushing in the mountains, I do treat it a little bit differently. You know, I'm really tuned into like how many calories I need and knowing my point of like, oh, I'm about to bonk. I better, you know, nourish myself before I hit that breaking point, because that's really hard to recover from. And so quickly absorbing nutrients are clutch, you know, or clutch. I'm eating fresh fruit because you're getting hydrated, you're getting like instant energy, and it's so easy on your stomach, and you know, especially when you're really pushing it. So I do bring, like, I kind of joke, I bring a cornucopia with me as much as I can, and that's like really great training to do for when you're, you know, when you're doing whatever. But on top of that, I like to take these plant-based pre-digested amino supplements, you know, and I take those daily. But when I'm doing the athletics, I'll take an extra like 5, or if it's a really big day, I'll take an extra 10. And what happens there is your body absorbs like any type of protein that you can animal, your body digests that in your liver, and it breaks it down into glucose in your, and then pulls the aminos out. So the urea needs to be filtered through your kidneys, and then your body makes the remaining aminos, and that turns into protein. So when we take the pre-digested plant-based aminos, it removes that process from your liver and your kidneys, and you're just, in 23 minutes, you begin to absorb these and you start building your protein. So not only like, this is so crucial when you're in recovery, because now your body's not spending extra energy recovering your liver and your kidneys from the work it's doing in the digestive phase, but while you're working at your hardest level, you're not spending energy, calories on you know, digesting food. You're just absorbing it. So I like to take those with me, and like, no, I see a hill, I know this hill's coming, so 20 minutes before I get to that hill, I'll take the aminos, and that shit is gold. I'm telling you, so good. I feel like I just talked a lot. Am I kind of getting what you're...
No, yeah, you're great. You're great. This is amazing.
So the other thing, which I actually have in my little shake right here, because I was out in the, I've been riding here in Salida at noon, you know, and like, it's freaking hot and sunny, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm doing this. It seems like really hard. It's kind of the only time I have. And so it's the desert here. Like, I'm sweating, and it's not even dripping down me. I'm just like salting. I can just feel myself getting hydrated. You know, there's not even moisture. It's like so dry here, like, you know. So replacing electrolytes, you know, in that phase is crucial. Like, electrolyte replacements before, but this stuff is beet based, and beets are contain nitric, all the phone calls right now, and nitric acid will help with muscle oxygen, which we know at altitude, and also just, when you're working hard doing anything, your muscles require oxygen. So I'll take like a water bottle of water, because it's still very important to hydrate with H2O, and then a water bottle of the Can't Beat This beet powder, which also has electrolyte replacement, and a little tiny bit of naturally occurring caffeine. And that's like a hippie Gatorade, I call it. That stuff is so gold. And then the third really important thing, that I always pack is Be Energetic. And I should have brought the bottle out so I could read it. I don't ever remember what's in the formula. It's a blend. And do you happen to have it off the top of your head, Dana?
I don't have it off the top of my head. No, I also have my bottle over there.
Yeah. One of us can get the information if anyone's curious, but it's an adrenal support, and it also is like natural energy. So I know there is a ginseng in there. And what it's going to do is, like any endurance athlete is, we're constantly putting our adrenals in to go mode. I mean, that's like, I lived constantly with back pain, for all of my climbing, and up until like a year ago, I always had just the middle of my back pain, stiffness, and I know yoga enough to know how to alleviate that. But what I realized, my adrenals, and that's just from years of literally edge and pushing it there. So this stuff not only is like gives you sustainable energy. You don't, when you're literally putting your body into flight or fight, and it actually going to exhaust you more in the end. But the Be Energetic is supporting your adrenals so that you're not going into that space, and it's long term. And anything else. Oh, those are aminos. Percy just brought me a bottle, but it's the wrong stuff. Thank you. So that's kind of my like magic formula, as far as superfoods go. And then, I'll still eat bars, but really paying attention to the ingredients, the less is more as far as bars go. And recognize it all. And of course, always organic. And then, I'll give one of my secrets is a pocket full of dried mangoes. Has saved.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that you gave us your secret energy stashes. I also really thrive on Lindsay is a biker and I'm a runner. I'm a long distance runner, and I like to run long distances really high up in the mountains, and there's a lot of big climbing involved. And I actually just this summer started exploring. I mean, I've been taking the aminos for a while, and same thing. It's like, if I know I'm going for a big run that day, aminos. And I have just been so blown away with what they are doing for me. And before I started with these protocols, there had been something missing for a long time. I just wasn't really sure exactly what it was. And I've been plant-based vegetarian for 10 plus years, and then plant-based for about 2. And it was really about 3 years ago that I started really thinking, there is something missing. What is it that I'm missing? I couldn't figure it out. I thought, maybe it's meat. Maybe I need to eat meat. Maybe my body's really asking me. And so when I found these products and this protocol, I've just been so blown away, because I think the aminos, along with really cellularly nourishing my body, has been such a huge, huge transfer and change to my daily life, just being a mom and trying to have, all the bandwidth to raise a toddler, and then also have the energy to be able to really go on these big adventures and have the energy to do that. And so the aminos have been so huge for me, just for muscle recovery, for just for endurance, for strength, and just for really giving me that energy. And like you say, one of the things that I've always struggled with on these long distance things is that I don't want to eat, because for me, when I'm running, it kind of feels like it's all jumbling around in there. So I've always struggled trying to figure out what to actually eat, because if I'm going on a 5-hour run, I need to eat something, but I've never really been able to figure out exactly what it was that I needed, because I didn't actually want to eat food. So the aminos have been so amazing, because they don't actually go through the digestive system. They're absorbed into the bloodstream in 23 minutes. And so I'm just getting that energy. I'm just getting pure energy without it having to, go through all of that. So aminos. And then, like I was saying, I just started experimenting this year with the Can't Beat This. And same thing, I've just been so blown away with, it gives me energy before the exercise. So I'll do one before and then one after. So I feel like before, it's giving me energy, it's giving me strength. Like you say, it's got those naturally occurring caffeine to just really kind of help me get over it. And then afterwards, it's really helping me with the recovery end. And so like you say, replacing the electrolytes is a really, really big one for me. I really need to watch my electrolyte balance and to keep that in check. So the Can't Beat This has been so crucial for really changing that. I've kind of been one of those people that just drinks water and still kind of can't feel hydrated. And so the Can't Beat This is really helpful for, after my workouts. And then I also have had similar ideas or similar things come up with the adrenals. Mm-hmm. So the Be Energetic has been really supportive for me as well, with just really supporting my adrenals, because I have that lifestyle. I'm always on the go. I really like to do big workouts, big exercise, and I'm always busy. I'm always filling my time with things that I love. And so this is really supportive for me to be able to do that without totally blowing out my adrenals.
Yeah.
And then I love your dried mango tip. Do you have anything specific that you work with muscle recovery?
I mean, really, I would agree with the aminos. It's kind of crazy, and so I do always in the morning every day, regardless of what my day is. And then if I'm doing an event, I'll do 5 more during the event, and then I kind of see how I feel. And if at the end of the day I'm just in the kitchen being like, what do I want, like crazy something, it's usually aminos. So I'll have another 5.
Mm-hmm.
I like don't get sore anymore. It's so crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll be sore for like a couple hours maybe, and just like do a little stretching, and it's wild. It doesn't like, I don't have stiffness so much anymore. And I think that also with when you begin to really alkalize yourself, like mm-hmm. a power shake, just like it's just pure alkalinity, and it's like you don't hold that nitric acid, the lactic acid in you. It kind of moves mm-hmm. through a little bit. I do take the astaxanthin as well. Mm-hmm. If I know tomorrow's gonna hurt, like I epic ride a few, like last month, and I was like, I might walk tomorrow or I may not, and I took some of those, and that helps. It just gets a little more antioxidants, which will help with any like free radical release and help with excess lactic acid. That's kind of, I don't feel the stiffness anymore. And I do, I am, this week has been kind of cool because I haven't been riding for the past 3 weeks, and I've been at sea level. And so I came back and I went for, I kind of forgot how much the climb was, and oh God, the mistake, and I surprised myself with how good I felt and how strong I felt. So, I mean, I was like really hammering the nutrition, being on the road and traveling. And I think it's just like it's not just a pill you take, and it's not just like a shake you add, but it's looking at this whole program as a different way of nourishing yourself, you know, and it works. I mean, and it's simple. It's not easy, but it is so simple, and it just takes steps of adding this stuff in.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that. I also started using the Super Xanthin recently and have really been so impressed with the recovery, the muscle recovery, you know, doing things that normally I did an 18-mile run when I didn't really feel like I was ready for it yet in the season, feel like I was quite there. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to run tomorrow because it's not only 18 miles, but it's like up and down and up and down and a lot of elevation gain and loss. And the next day I was just, you know, I was a little bit sore, but not at all what I was expecting. And I really attribute that to, you know, the aminos and the Super Xanthin. So that's been really cool to start exploring with that one more. And then, like you say, the Power Shake, you know, just to be really, like you say, just being gone for that long and be able to just come back to it, just really thinking of that whole body perspective. So our body is just ready. So we are cellularly nourished. And the Power Shake really helps me with that because I want to be ready. I want to be able to be ready to fight off any sickness that comes into my life. I want to be ready to run 18 miles if I need to. I want to be able to be ready just kind of for whatever comes, and just looking at this whole body perspective and really thinking about all over nourishment daily is so important. Not waiting until the sickness comes or waiting until the day of, like, oh shoot, what am I supposed to eat? But just really keeping this consistency of having the nourishment in our bodies, I think is just so important.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Totally on board with that.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Lindsay. So I think we have, so I heard you say, I think we've kind of come up with our protocol for badass athletes that I'm calling this, and that is super aminos, our can't beat this electrolyte replacement, the Be Energetic for all adrenal support, the dried mango, the Super Xanthin for the recovery afterwards, muscle recovery, and then of course the Power Shake just to keep up that daily nourishment and to really be fully nourished.
Yeah. So there is one thing I would add to, Dana.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, I used to climb a lot with one of my friends, and we'd always joke, like, after dinner and after like a huge day, we'd be like, all right, have a shitty, like neither one of us would ever sleep after a big,
yeah.
because of the adrenaline, you know, you're just like, I was like, what is that? Like, why does that happen? Like, I always know that personally after a big event is going to be terrible sleep. And learned from a naturopath, I asked at some point, and because of the adrenaline, there needs to be kind of a counter to that. And so something like kind of grounding and bringing you down, and that's going to promote sleep. So the tart cherry juice is actually fantastic, because not only is it creates naturally occurring melatonin in your body, but cherries help inflammation. So like to help with the lactic acid, and they're great oxidants and all those things like muscle recovery. So I would add that in the list as well.
Awesome. Yes, I love that. And we actually it's cool that we're talking about this now, because for me, it was just something that's coming up in my life right now because it's summer and this is the time that I'm really doing a lot of athletic things. And then our company just came out with this new pack that actually has all of these things all included in it. So I'm really excited about that we can offer that to people, just one easy place to just get everything. And that's just your daily nutrition and gentle detox and the aminos, and then also to add in that athletic program, because we were hearing from a lot of people that, you know, with our daily nutrition pack, they were feeling really amazing with the nutrition, but wanted a little bit more support, specifically for people that were high endurance athletes or just very, very athletic people are going for really big things. And so I'm really excited that we came out with this new pack. Have you had any experience with it?
Yeah, I mean, I buy it every month, you know. Between me and my partner, you know, like he's on this stuff too, and he's like, he's good at everything. He's great off the couch, but you know, I've noticed it in his performance too, you know, and so yeah, we love it all. We take all the things, and I buy other things too, and just kind of play around to see with what I like. I haven't been disappointed by anything I've tried, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to try different things and just experiment and explore with, you know, what's working, how it works, and how it feels in the body. And that's one of the things that I think is so fun about what we're talking about, with just looking at the whole body and taking the whole perspective. So if you don't have anything else to add, Lindsay, I think we can end it there. Do you have any last thoughts?
The last thought is I wish I would have said yes sooner, you know. And so if you're on and you're listening to all of this, just what, you know, take a trust fall into our arms.
I love that. Yeah, so if you're, like Lindsay was saying, if you're listening to this and there's any part of it that's resonating for you, or you want to learn more, just reach out to the person who sent you this video, and we'd love to just support you to see if this is a fit for you, or send you more information, or even hop on the phone with you to really support you, because that's what we want to do, is really support people to thrive in their athletic endeavors, in their health, and just in their lives.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. And thank you, Lindsay. It's so nice to see you, as always.
Yeah, you too, Dana. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's so great to do this with you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so fun. So much gratitude for you as well.
Enjoy your mountains.
You too. Bye.